So this video I'm going to show you how to create your first JavaFX application. So we want to create something like this, a screen to do welcome, username, password, right, and login. Alright, so let me start with create the directory for that. Alright, VI use VI editors, right? So I'm gonna call authentication view.java. So we gonna use JavaFX. So whenever we use JavaFX, we're going to do extends application, and we don't need to have public static void main. It's not required. We can do start and stage. Let me name it as primary stage. So now we may notice that we have to use two new classes, right? One is the application and one is the stage. So what we need to do, we need to import them from javafx.application package and also from stage. Now, what we have to make sure is after we export, right, then stage pretty much just create an instance named primary stage. So this is called instance, an object of that class. Then I have to display that by .show, right? Make it to show. So let's see if we can compile this and see what we get first. Authentication view. Okay, so I named authentication view, has to name the same. So class name and file name must be the same, right? So missing the word view here. Alright, so let's run this. So we get the GUI, graphic user interface, right? So this is the first JavaFX with the UI screen here. Okay. Now we can start to build like the text field set title. So let's say if I do set title dot set title to the stage, right? Say authentication recompile this and run it, right? Now the title changed to authentication. So that's the title of the windows like that. So it's just like I create the terminal like that, right? Screen, same. The rest is just the contents that how you filled in. Let me show you the Java doc for stage. Stage is pretty much just the screen that you see, the white screen at the windows, right? So JavaFX, Java doc. So Java doc pretty much is a place where you can start to study. You can make the styles to the stage too. Decorated. A stage with a solid white background and platform decorations. Undecorated with a solid white background and no decorations. Transparent background and no decorations. Utility with a solid white background and minimal platform decorations. A stage can optionally have an owner window. When the window is a stage owner, it's said to be the parent of the stage. When a parent window is closed, all its descendant windows are closed. The same chained behavior applies for a parent window that is iconified. A stage will always be on top of its parent window. Right, the owner must be initialized before the stage is made visible. And it can be modality, like modal to the window. So this is another example how to use the stage, right? So the same extends application, and then start right with the stage. And you see I just say stage.show. Inside the stage we can put a scene, right? The stage is like the whole windows, like let me run it again. So that's the whole windows, that's the stage. So we can put a scene on the stage. So create a scene. So if you go to a theater and watch the performance, right, perform on theater, they have many scenes that they change the background, right, of the stage, right? So you can compare it that way, right? Like when I create a scene, I need to import a new scene, like that. And stage just set the scene to the scene that I create. And let's do that. So our plan here, we're going to create a new scene. And this is JavaFX scenes again, right? And then we're going to set the scene. Now we need to import. Let's recompile this. Okay. Alright, so scene, there's no empty constructor for scene. It has to follow by some parent. Right, scene has to have, these are the constructors. We talked about that constructor has to overload it with many parameters, right? So I cannot leave it empty. Like in this example, they use new group, something like that, right? And in the other example that I use, so let's look at so I use this great, right? And then width and height. So scene cannot stay with the empty constructor, right? And the parent that I create, I pretty much just do the grid pane. This is just like you start to give the layout. Okay, like this one, use new group. Just group them all together for the text, and then you start to put the text inside. So let's try create text like this one. You can set the font, right? And do the group. Okay. So we pretty much just try to say some word onto the stage, right? But using scene, right? Because we keep changing the scene, so we're pretty much just, this hello world is a text, okay, which the font size is just create through the font class. Then you have to import font, and you set the size to 40 pixels, right? And text is also a class that you need to import because you create a new text, right? Now you may see every time when you do like scanner keyboard equals to new scanner, this is the same principle right there, right? When you create a new object like scene, new scene, right? Sometimes we can shorten that if we use it only once, like new font, and set the font size. You don't need to do font equals to new font. It's not required, but you could too. So that's why you just see a shorten, since you only set font size only once. Okay. So let's do this and see what we get. Text equals to new text. So again, this is, you may want to check the constructor text Java doc, right, to see what type of parameters that we need. Now I just open the Java doc for text, right? You see these are example, and they should have a summary for the constructor. X, Y, so that's a constructor. You can have an empty instance, that is fine. You can put a string through that.